Shalom, salam. I'm Weiman, the director of the Dialogue Institute at Temple University in Philadelphia, United States. It's a great pleasure and great privilege to be here. It is our great honor to be in such a wonderful, beautiful audience, all of the Americans, the Australians, people from Canada, people from Northern Europe, people from India, from around the world that joined the Jordanians on a very special voyage, a voyage together. And I'm so pleased to see a great, wonderful gathering of religious leadership, of the leadership here in Jordan, from all different sectors of the business world, and from civil society. It is a great pleasure to have the three of you come together, as it is for us to be here. And what is so amazing about the Trialogue for us, the International Scholars Abrahamic Trialogue, is that 20 years ago, the president and the organizer of something very small and very special in Washington, D.C., Professor Leonard Swidler, who's with us today and continues to lead and is our president of our organization, a professor who said that we're not talking to each other. We don't have dialogue. And he brought together Muslims, Christians, and Jews in America, first of all, to say, let's talk. Let's see what we have in common, more than just one great father. What do we have to speak about? And 20 years later, we're still talking. But more importantly, are we talking to others? And the dialogue becomes between religion and today, something that was close to the heart of His Royal Majesty, Prince Hassan of Jordan. The idea of where does religion and where does spirituality and where does kindness and goodness fit into doing good works and global business. And really what we have seen in the 21st century is a major change, a major rethinking of people realizing that staying in your own discipline is not discipline at all. Staying only within the confines of the category that you started working in is not going to be global, is not sharing, does not span out, is not expansive. The word of inclusion is really about how do we make every single person come to the table and bring their skills and their possibilities and their vision to the table and working together on this. Now for us, I want to tell you that in the year 2000, the International Scholars Annual Trialogue had the privilege of having Prince Hassan as a member of the Trialogue, when for the first time Indonesia, in Jakarta, turned into being a democratic country. And we talked about what does religion have to contribute to democracy? How can we once and for all, begin to be contributors to civil society? And 8 years ago is when the Prince told us, you have to come to Jordan. When we're ready, we invite you. And I can't tell you what great hosts you are. We are enjoying very much every moment we're here, such kindness and such hospitality, but moreover, a real keenness to move forward and go into the future. We've come, there's more than 50 of us here among you, every one of them a qualified and intelligent and capable individual in their own profession. The real challenge for all of us, is to reach out to the other profession, to reach out to the other from its own different categories and own different places they sit in the vision of society, to realize that we need every single contributor to solving problems. And what we're doing today, and the beauty of us sitting here, why do religious academics have to do something at the Royal Scientific Society? Why should religious figures come to a Royal Scientific Society? Because we feel that from talk should come action. That from dialogue, the most important piece of dialogue is listening to one another, and listening to what you have to contribute, and listening to the way that you see and envision the world. And for us, we came to listen. We came to hear your story. We came to hear your vision. We came to hear to what you have to grapple with. And if we can bring back pieces of that to our many different countries where we come from, and to be able to do it in partnership, and we can do it in peace, it is a wonderful thing. And in 1994, when the beautiful King Hussein, may God rest his soul, came over to Israel and began doing cross-border ideas and saying there are no borders in the world anymore, that borders are meaningless if people have great hearts. Oh, beautiful. I know scientific society, we can do that. I think that one of our great goals in this world is to look at each other and say, what do we have to offer to the greater whole? We don't look at lines, because when you're out in outer space, there are no lines on this little globe. And when a heart is full, a heart can only be fuller. When you love one, you can love more. In our goals and what we want to do today, and today is the opening ceremony of the next 3 days where we're going to be working on solutions. And the solutions are learning how do we live together to create something special. We have a particular idea in mind. We have a thought, and we're going to share that this afternoon with you. We hope all of you will stay throughout the day and see how creative and how purposeful and how direct we can be with some ideas that we want to see happen in this region that we didn't create, that you, the Jordanian people, you, the Jordanian medical professions, and the Israeli medical professions came together with problems, and we're interested now in solutions. One of the wonderful things that we have to offer today is, first of all, seeing, as we call it, creating a context. We want to really see a world without poverty. I think of one of the prophets, one of the people that has been an inspiration to us all, Moses. Moses, who didn't know who he was or what he was, except a very wealthy young man. As soon as he saw injustice, and he went out and saw a slave driver beating a slave. There's a wonderful passage in the Bible where it says he looks here and he looks there. And then he does something. And what's amazing about looking here and looking there, many people interpret that in many different ways. I like to think that when Moses looked right and he looked left, when he saw the beating in front of him, injustice in front of him, poverty in front of him, is he looked around and said, isn't there anybody see what I see here? Isn't there anybody interested in solving these problems? And then he looked here and he looked there and then he looked here. I guess it's me. I guess it's up to me. And the most amazing moment in Moses' understanding, where he became just a nice rich young boy, a nice rich young prince, to become a man of conscience and a man of leadership, is when he said, it is me that has to make a decision to stop the injustice, to do something about this poverty. As you may know, the title of our conference, very small title, Religion and Global Business, Partnerships and Dialogue for the Elimination of Poverty. Elimination of poverty. That's a vision, that's a goal, but we believe that together we will be able to accomplish that. I'd like to introduce to you our first partner. The RSS has been, and I had the privilege in November to come over and look at the RSS and be given a beautiful tour around the area. I had to be very, very specific in what I saw because my husband's an engineer and he wanted to make sure that you were doing everything right here. What was so compelling was, again, the energy, the excitement that Princess Sumaya and her staff and everything happening here was cultivating. I was interested in the fact that it went from development to the complete idea of commercialization. That you don't just develop ideas, you actually put it into process. And it's for the people. It's for people to go take entrepreneurship to the level of saying, it's for us, and it's for every one of us, including the very poor.